The spiritual knowledge is what you have a responsibility to understand in your life as a human being. I had all the businesses, we made millions of dollars, but I was overweight, I was depressed. Something inside me was just burning. I wanted to explode. It wasn't enough for me, and God has always called me. I basically went into the jungle by myself. I left all the luxuries. I left the Ferrari. Going into the jungle, 2 pairs of shorts, couple shirts, couple underwears, no salt, no animal products. 6 years, no animal products, not even honey. I could have went more, I could have got richer, but I said to myself, the money is there and the houses and the cars, but inside something was really missing. I wanted to explore more. I wanted more, but not in a money way, not in a financial way, not in a material way. I wanted more in a astral way.
Welcome to Shredify podcast. To start off, I have a guy who I met in Costa Rica last year. Saying that, I would like him to introduce himself to our audience.
My man, Luca, thank you for having me. First of all, pleasure to be here. My name is Martin Astral. It's my nickname. From U.S., Michigan originally, living in Costa Rica. And yeah, we met on the beach in Costa Rica, right? After a long journey in Costa Rica myself, like 7 years being there, on the spiritual journey, on the spiritual path, leaving everything, moving there. I get to meet really nice, really cool people from all over the world, and you were one of them. I think we met on the beach with my horse. My horse always leads me to interesting people.
Well, we have to thank your horse then, yeah?
Yes, thank you, Tornado. Shout out to Tornado.
Yeah.
For sure.
But to pull the line, I want to come to conclusion before we will start. Your journey and your story reminds me a lot of a monk who sold his Ferrari. Can we pull the parallel and say to people like, you had a dream life in US, you had businesses all over US, LA, and you decided to drop everything and to go to Costa Rican jungle and do the things as like I mentioned on Instagram that you are modern world shaman. What is it all about, man? What
Basically it's about exhaustion, it's about authenticity, about firmness, about being sick and tired of being dopamined out and being sick and tired of being in the traffic, right? We're here in Dubai now, and driving here reminds me of what I used to do every day. Just what's going on in the mind is what's going on outside. It's just a manifestation. So what drove me out of, this luxury life of being able to have anything and go anywhere, and the money is there and the houses and the cars and this all is accomplished, but inside something was really missing. And in the silence, the breath was missing. It knocked the wind out of me, this whole thing, and something always called me that I wanted to explore more. I wanted more, but not in a money way, not in a financial way, not in a material way. I wanted more in a astral way. Hence my nickname now is Martin Astral.
Yes.
So, I had all the businesses, we made millions of dollars, we did all these things, but I was overweight, I was depressed, and most importantly, I was not sure. I didn't have firmness, I didn't understand. I didn't have universal understanding. You see, we all have knowledge, we all gain knowledge. Everybody goes to school and gets their degree and puts a little hat on and does the little walk and put the costume on, and then they don't really know shit, right? They don't really know anything deep down. And the only way you can really accomplish this is going on a solo journey by yourself, no woman, no mom, no dad, no priest, no shaman, no imam, no nobody, nothing, by yourself. And that's what I did. I basically went into the jungle by myself, with some guidance, of course. Then I met some shamans and started doing this practice that I did, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But yeah, I was in LA, I was in Florida, I was in Michigan. We had all these businesses, and something inside me was just burning. I wanted to explode. It wasn't enough for me, and God has always called me to something higher and deeper and greater, and has called me to be a prophet. Has called me to tell this astral world, to explain it, to go and study it, right? And go on this seminary and go on this monkship. But it's very much like the monk who sold his Ferrari.
Yeah, man. When I said, like, when you told me your story, and I was thinking, I read a book, and when I pulled the parallel, I could imagine you had everything, you dropped, you got back to Costa Rica, to the nature, and the way I met you, I met a guy on a horse. I didn't know who you are, but when you started speaking, I said, wow, this guy is something else. And then it's all about spirituality, about nature, and about living a real life. Because in Costa Rica, you don't need Bentley, Ferrari, Rolls Royce. You have your bicycle, you have your horse, you have your flip-flops, shorts. That's it.
That's it.
And then I found you on Instagram, and I see that you are a singer, that you are praying, that you are having a great community, and then psychology and physical, I would say in this case exercising is very linked, body and mind, mind and soul.
Yeah.
You name it, it goes together. It cannot be separated.
No, it cannot be separated. And you have to love uncomfort when you do this work. It's very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable.
It's been challenging, right?
Very challenging. Hell. Horrific and glorious at the same time. But that's what it is when you're down doing squats and you're doing abs and you're just burning and you're in pain. And then, 2-3 months later, you see
I love
the
that
abs.
pain.
You have to love it. So yeah, so like sitting with people that are inexperienced or really have problems and this and that it's mixing with other people. It's like you have somebody that is in grade 12 and then someone in grade 6 and you have them in the same class. So the teacher can't really work with, like, you have this guy that's really super overweight and he's just slow, but you have all these other guys, they're moving, they're pumping, they're excited, It's different class, so it's better to choose accordingly.
Man, we forget a lot about spirit, energy,
Yes.
our soul. When it comes to it, I truly believe in energy. I think energy is everywhere, and energy is something what commanding where to go, what to do, because energy is the way of thinking. End of the day, right? You can be negative thinker and positive. Being natural and neutral in this situation is impossible. So either you are one side or you are another. Because like it's simple as that. If I give to a person who is positive a blank paper and I put black dot on a white paper, he will just see this black dot and say, this black. But if I give this paper to a positive person, he will see plenty of space which is white and say, okay, let's make a flower here. So this is difference. When I say that, I have one certain topic.
I want to say something about that real quick. So you can be positive thinker, you can be negative thinker, and you could be neutral thinker. Which neutral is somebody like that's passive, that's just like, meh, which is the negative. Why? Because when it's like that person in the middle, there's that lukewarm thinker, that kind of like in the middle, that's just like passive thinker, that's not really like, yeah, I am, and I will, and I do, and I will, right? And then he's not that, but he's not that like, but everything's so bad and everything sucks and this happened to me. He's not that. He's just like right in the middle. you know, you have those people that are kind of like traumatized in the middle. They're just like, I don't know which way to be. I don't know how to be positive. I don't know that I'm just right here. You know, you meet these people, you know?
Maybe I met them, but I could not.
Anyways, my point is to say is that the passive person, the lukewarm person, is on the darker side, is on the negative side, because the window is open for influence easily, right? So there is no in the middle really. There's the negative and there's the positive thinker. But what does it mean when somebody thinks negative? It just means that their conditioning, that their environment, that their parents, that how they've been programmed. Because it's the program. Everybody is their program, which is the beautiful part about life, is that we're all our program. And the beautiful part that neuroscience is now bridging the bridge between neuroscience and spirituality is here now. Everybody's talking about it. Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, Eckhart, you know, all the gurus that we are following too, like Sadhguru and Nityananda, and they were always on the astral side, but everything is kind of bridging neuroscience and spirituality now, and you can discern and understand really, really clearly now. Okay, what is the difference between positive thinking and negative thinking? As you said, it's all energy. Everything is energy, right? And it all is determined by energy and breath. Your thoughts. If you say, "I am beautiful. I am guided and protected wherever I go, whenever I go. Hallelujah, so be it. Ameen, ameen, hallelujah." You're now actually creating physical matter from vibration, which is, what is the vibration? It's energy, right? And if you're thinking, "No, I'm not good enough. I don't know, maybe," you just create more of that. So we talk about this in kind of a motivational speaking way, affirmations and stuff like that. But there's another level to it that is the root of it, which is the astral level, right? Which is you see how you're creating your reality by what's going on inside of your body. That's why it's so important to be in shape. It's so important to be in shape. It's like really the top thing. And that's why I really respect what you're doing with Shredify, and I support it 100%. And I think everybody should come on board with getting involved in first getting the tempo right, because that's the whole thing about the weight. I also had this download about the weight when I was overweight, really overweight. It was like, this weight is all habit and spirits and energies. It's actually spirits hanging on to you. The spirit of depression, the spirit of lust, the spirit of gluttony, the spirit of over something, over sex, over this, over that, over comfort, over passivity. And one specific that I love, it's in Hebrew. It's called the prayer. And it's one that we all say to ourselves, which is, this is a prayer. This is a prayer to the God within me and outside of me. Please make me free of the habits that capture me. My total devotion is to you. So you're saying who I'm talking to. Me and outside of me, because God is in you and God is outside all over you. And then my request is, please make me free of the habits that capture me. Then, nishmati mesura lecha, my total devotion is to you. Make me clean. Make me what you want me to be. Clean this. Get rid of it. And that's my favorite one, because it's right to the point. But there's other prayers that we sing, like transparencia, which means transparency. That's also a very big thing. We can talk about why, affirmation, you should control your mind, go to the gym. But transparency is the key, because when somebody sees why they are the way they are, that's what's going to lead them to come out of it. Because you can motivate them till tomorrow, all the way to the moon.
Motivation is not sustainable, man.
It's not, but where does the discipline come from? The knowing, the transparency of why am I overeating? Why am I doing this? Why? Because the why is the question. The why is the leader.
Yeah, but many people, they have no why.
No why.
And they don't know how to answer it, because they're lost. They're lost in comfort zone. They're lost in habits. They're happy to be where they are. And okay, I have no goals. I have no interest. I have what I have, and that's it for me. And that's what I don't understand. Because for me, the life is a challenge. And every time you unlock new door, there is another door. And this is the drive for me. I'll tell one thing that one Russian, very rich guy told me. He said, if the person is fat, I don't want to have any kind of business with him because he's not taking of himself. He's not taking care of himself. So his business might be same thing as he's just getting through, and doing what is easy to do. It's very interesting.
Because people that are not focused on their health are lying to themselves. They're lying to themselves. They're lying to themselves. They're lying to themselves. They're staying uncomfortable because it's easier. They're going the easy way and lying. Well, I'm only gonna do this and I'm gonna eat this now. It's only one time. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous to hear these statements of laziness. And same thing with the spirit world. I mean, it's especially when in our work, people either end up leaving hating me or loving me.
What is the most of them? I believe they love it.
Starting hating.
But then...
Yes, it's like now I'm super...
It's a journey, right?
It's a journey because we need to lead them to the light first. Once they smell the light and they see the light, it's like I always say, and it's what happened to me. I hated it. And I'll tell you a little bit about what happened. I moved into the jungle. I left all the luxuries. I left the Ferrari, 488 GTB white, baby. Loved driving that on PCH, right, in California. This life, beautiful life, right? Going into the jungle, 2 pairs of shorts, couple shirts, couple underwears, a little wooden cabin deep in the jungle, down by the river, no toilet. You want to make somebody uncomfortable? First thing I do is take the toilet. Outside. You poop outside. You pee outside. You smell your own shit. You think your shit don't stink? Come on. You're going to poop outside. And you're going to sleep outside. Mosquitoes eat you. Deep uncomfort. Food? I decide the food. No salt. No animal products. 6 years, no animal products. Not even honey I had. No animal products. Why? We don't want the consciousness of anything else. So this is the part of the deep cleansing. It goes so deep to really clean all those things out. Then we go combo, frog medicine, throw up, everything come out. And you learn so much about nature. Why people dry their clothes in the sun? Because the sun charges the clothes. Oh. You understand so many things. And you get to stare at the moon and the stars. Electricity? No electricity. Candles. Every night candles. So you prepare the candles, you light the candles every night. You already prepare them because you don't want it to get dark and you don't have candles. You need to go to the bathroom. When you look at the candlelight every night, or for days, or for years, your anatomy changes. It heals itself. Just staring at the candle itself. And this is why when we think about our ancestors, if we think about our ancestors, which most people don't, what they used to do. It was always a torch. It was always a natural light. This is what's killing us. Being inside all day, breathing air from these vents, this LED, this is what's making people sick. If you correlate all of how we live and you just checklist, make a list of everything in this room and you can correlate it to all the diseases on the earth that are increasing significantly, exponentially. It's all of this.
Man, can I just for a second?
Yeah.
So... As a youngsters and mid-age, we trade everything to get rich, to get wealthy. But then we reach to age when we are about to lose everything, and then we trade everything to get to the point that we are healthy, that we are taking care of ourselves. And this is the trap which is going around.
The wheel.
Yes, exactly. And as you said, you understood that at the age of 36, you moved. At the age of 33, you moved to Costa Rica. You just wiped everything and said, I'm going to the jungle. I'm going to nature. and I'm going to experience myself, right?
Yeah, in your defense, I had made millions of dollars at that time, so that's the reason
Yeah,
that enabled me. In the defense of everybody hustling, I did make a lot of money, and then I went. You know, I don't know if I would have went if I didn't, but God made it happen that way.
But for me, this is insane story, man.
But yes, I did. I could have went more. I could have got richer.
Ah.
All my friends got richer.
Mm.
You know, in the businesses and the space that we were in, they all made, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars. You know, I did not. You know, but I said to myself,
But would you be happy more today, or what is your mantra?
my mantra is spiritual ascension is more valuable than material ascension, because when you have spiritual ascension, you know that as many stars as there are in the sky, you can have money. And the knowledge that I have now, I would never trade it for anything, because I can get that thing with the knowledge that I have now. Money is just a tool. It's just a thing that we created. Who is money created for? Man. Who is the Ferrari created for to drive it? The horse? No, man. It's mine.
Yeah.
So if another man has it, I can have it. So, and I can also have things through other people. You know, if somebody has a beautiful yacht and it's my friend, I can go enjoy his yacht. I don't have to have the yacht. I don't want the headache of it. I don't want the jet. I had a plane. I don't want I don't want to maintain it. I don't want to think about it in the warehouse, you know, in the hangar, and I have this hangar, and I have this plane there, and I have this boat here, and I have this jet ski there, and I have these horses. Horses, I'll take care of them. Horses,
don't get horses involved in this conversation.
No,
because
no.
they're just
but
plain.
these things, you know, they create attachment. And everybody who has, you know, I have friends, billionaire friends, millionaire friends, you know, as you said, in Costa Rica, they ride their bike, nobody knows who they are.
You have no clue.
And they'll tell you, but me in my journey, and the whole medicine journey, taught me very much so about attachment. As much attachment, as much material you attain that you're attached to, more work you have to do to detach.
Yeah, you are possessed.
So now how do we balance this, right? How do we balance what I call Buddha and CEO, which is what I call myself in a way, which is like the monk who sold his Ferrari, right? That's the book that I have coming out in a few months, inshallah.
Where people
balancing Buddha and CEO.
It's
going to
be
be
published,
on Amazon. Yeah.
Okay, great. Please share with me. I'll be more than happy to.
So it's like the monk that sold his Ferrari, but my journey, how it happened for me. The monk that sold his Ferrari was about the lawyer and how he's, you know, all that. But the idea is the spiritual knowledge is what you have a responsibility to understand in your life as a human being. How you drive this vessel and you don't know about your spirit. How? It's unbelievable. Now you know your subject expertise is muscles, body, fat, water, salt. You understand all of this on the anatomy of the body.
But actually everything comes to one thing, breath and breathing. As you said, man, people are coming up with crucial things like for the breathing techniques. As you said, like exposing yourself to cold immersion. It changed life. Meditation. There is one of the best thing which I've heard lately. It's called Yoga Nidra, and basically you just lay down for 5 minutes and you just focus on your breathing and you distress yourself for a whole day. There is one thing which I certainly want to speak about with you. We as a man, we all have problems. We are all vulnerable. But we are covering those emotions somewhere in the corner, covering that with the muscles, with flexing, with showing power through money, through politics, you name it. What about, have you ever had a man who is very traumatic and who is hiding his emotions in the corner and not willing to speak about and to say anything because maybe society might judge him, his family might judge him, His wife might judge him.
Yeah,
And he's covering that.
yeah.
And no one speaks about that.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Men are under a lot of pressure, especially today. We're not the way we used to, where we used to go hunt for food and come back and we had fulfillment by bringing home the food. Now we have to open mail, change passwords, buy this for the wife, buy that. There's all this ego. There's Kim Kardashian. There's this and that. Everybody's comparing themselves to one another. It's a mess. This is not the way the God intended society, human society, to be. So when it comes to emotions, even indigenously and anciently, right? Like men were not allowed to show emotion and if they have
And especially in this world of Instagram and showing the best fucking version of yourself.
Yeah, it's
just like
from a shaman perspective, from someone who meets people deep in the jungle, far away from everyone that they know. Every man needs to cry. Every man needs to be on his knees, screaming, asking God, at the edge. You have to do this every year. One thing that I learned is this doctrine of cleansing, asking and just, being open and open-hearted and zero ego and open-hearted and all of the tightness and all of the muscles and all of the macho shit is just let going. You let go of it. The letting go of it all is what all men need. Every man needs this. I don't care if he's got billions. I don't care if he has trillions. I don't care if you have 1 million. I don't care if he has 1,000. Okay? We're all the same. We're all brothers and sisters. We're all one. Okay? And whatever you see happening in the world is our creation. It's our manifestation. Some people are helping us manifest this world. The people who are pulling the strings, who want to create the society the way that they want, because they have the sacred knowledge, they have the spirit knowledge of how to control society. And vulnerability is a big thing, and it's not allowed in society for a man.
Yeah,
you have to show that you're strong, and if you show your woman that you're vulnerable and you're crying about God, a God. If I'm intense about God, we have religions. People are very religious and intensely religious. But now if I cry in front of you and people watch me cry because of the grace of God that I know I have over my life, people think it's strange. What's wrong with this guy? What if I act tough and I pull up in a Lambo and I spend 10 grand on a dinner, then everybody thinks I'm cool? What is this? This is ridiculous. This is not real.
Yeah.
And this is not...
It's very deep, man. It's very deep.
Believers in God and why we care so much what each other thinks when it comes to class. This guy has a license plate with 1 number. He has 2. Habibi, these people, they inherited a country. They inherited a country. You're not them. You can go get your money and go get 1 number on your license plate all you want. No problem. Come to the jungle. Come. We're going to see how really rich you are inside. So good, money, fantastic. Okay, but everybody's going to die, man. It's tomorrow.
We are here just temporary, and
it's tomorrow.
Exactly.
Tomorrow
and,
we're gonna.
What is your stance of life after that? Because you said one great thing 2 days ago on dinner. You said our soul, our energy will stay forever.
Well, like you said it earlier, right? Everything is energy. So your soul is energy, and it's sitting inside of your body. And when you were born, somehow you were chosen to manifest into what you were named, Luca, which is not really your name. That's not who you are. You were named Luca, but that's not who you are. And that's another thing about how we forget when we try to find out who we really are, we have to go beyond the conditioning. You were conditioned that your name is Luca.
Yeah.
But that's not who you are. That's just something physical, right? Somebody say, your name is Luca. My name is Martin. Now everybody calls you Luca. Hey, Luca. So you have to act like Luca. You have to act like what they think Luca acts like. It's like the saying, I'm not who you think I am. I'm who you think I am. You think I am who you think. But it's like this thing is like...
It's about perception, right? And perspective at the same time.
Yeah.
Being able to zoom out and to get yourself into eyes of the person that you speak with. And then again, being yourself and understand the situation from your own view, right?
Basically, it's like you judge. You think I am who you think you are, and who you think I am.
Yes,
and
but
who you think
exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. What they say, for instance, if you have some trait which I really don't like, most probably I have this trait, and I really don't like this trait, and
Yes.
I'm reflecting this trait on you, and I say I don't like that.
Yeah.
For instance, if there are people who are all the time speaking about other people and saying to the person, oh, this guy is like that because he does this, most probably he is the same like that because he sees himself in the eyes of other person.
Uh-huh. Yes, exactly. And back to the name thing, right? It's like to the astral part of like the man and the man opening and the man.
But I
being
want to
able
speak about that really because I think it's really important to acknowledge masculinity and what is actually behind that. Because me as a masculine man, I think I have some kind maybe of trauma from the childhood. I don't know, like I feel that there is some uh, there is energy, feminine energy and masculine, and I think I lack this feminine energy inside. So when I say that, I believe that there are so many guys who are jacked, who are machos, but they have when they are in four walls around, they do have a problem, but they don't know how to express this problem. And the best thing to do is like to speak, to open up. But people are not willing to speak, to open up, and they are reflecting this negative emotion or on their wives, mother, father, friends. They are going and drinking, taking drugs. You name it. There is so many ways to do, and let's address this.
Yeah, because like I said, mass men don't have a way, a portal, a group, friends. I didn't before, where I can be vulnerable and go deep with. My friends I had to kind of be macho with, so they be my friends, right?
But that's exactly who
That's the
you
problem.
are not actually.
Yeah, exactly.
And you are covering behind some Martin, you don't know him
right.
even.
Then you go home and then you're
And then
alone,
you are another person.
and then you're like exhausted from having to put on all these masks and balancing Buddha and CEO, as I call it, or spirituality and like the matrix, coming back into this world. You kind of have to put everybody, you see everyone and they always have to smile. And our work, our careers shape us into these kind of fake versions of ourselves. You see a waitress, she's going through hell, right? Or someone working and she's, how are you, right? She'll smile at you no matter what. And this hurts every time, So she really
But it's professional deformation as well, yeah?
Yeah, look, that's what I'm
Because
saying.
we have to act sometimes.
Being professional and being correct, politically, professionally, is what pushes us down, our real selves down, and then we never clean. So how do we know who we really are?
But there is another question which raises in my mind. Actually, there is not many time that the person you speak is listening really to you.
That's a big one.
Big one. You know why I'm saying that? Because last week I had a guy on a podcast who I know for 8 years. And I met him just last week here. I didn't know shit about the guy. Because I was really listening what he's saying and asking quality question and allowing him to answer those questions without interrupting or saying my shit around. I realized that the guy is like completely different person that I know and that I knew. So I think this is another question because people often are not listening each other actually. And we are just talking for sake. If I ask you how are you, I'm just asking you how are you just for the sake of saying that, which is very shallow.
Yeah, I agree.
And this is
totally.
This matrix what you are saying.
It's the let's go.
Exactly.
Right? Conversation. There's not a lot of listening. I don't like asking people how are you. I like to ask them how are you breathing. Did you have any dreams last night? What were your dreams last night? Like my friends, right? But someone I just meet from the beginning, you know, how are you? Just like, okay, you know, how's life? Okay. What's the answer? Great. Everybody gonna lie. Well, or if life is really great, because life is really great for some people, right? Life is good
Yeah.
for me. If you tell me how I'm, life is good. But I understand, like, yeah, listening is someone who really listens, and I think that's what men really need. Also, women and men and women, husbands and wives, expect each other to do that. See, the thing about couples is, you need other intervention. You need retreats. We do couples retreats also.
Yin yang, right? It has to be like.
you need to. She needs something to talk to someone else about things other than you, because there's a certain persona and a certain, line she's holding to keep Luca, and vice versa, right?
Which is completely natural to me. Like,
Which is natural, and it's natural to need somebody else and to go. See, we're missing retreats. We're missing spiritual advisors in our lives. So I want to, and deep listening. And we don't deeply listen because we don't know how to deeply listen, because we're not deep. We're shallow. If you're not talking to God and you're not going to the astral and you're not going deep yourself, how are you going to deeply listen? You're just...
but there are so many people neglecting this and just getting over that as is nothing.
So we do workshops for this, where you...
when we wrap up, I want you to say where people can find you and all these things related to retreats, because I met you on the beach of Jaco, on your horse, Hermosa, with the hat, without t-shirt, without shoes, and I was whistling to you, hey, my friend, can I have you? Because, like, again, I don't want to get back to the point when we were in introduction.
I want to talk about the men thing too.
I want to address really that, because I think this is something, but not many people are speaking about. What is your advice for the man who is insecure, who is hurting, who has some kind of childhood trauma, who is actually pushing these emotions under the carpet, and deep down in our amygdala, backside of our head, we have these things, but we are not willing to accept and to say to ourselves, that's who you are. And that's what I'm asking now for. If you can tell these people what is the right thing to do.
I would say, brother, there is a group, there is a whole community of people that want to hear all your problems, and God wants to hear all your problems, and there really are not problems. And God wants for you, He demands more for you to reach your destiny than you want what you want. God wants more for you, the correct
That's for sure.
road for you, more than you want what you want. You might think you want this. He wants for you more. And the angels and everybody's around you trying to talk to you and to lead you and sending whispers to your soul to follow. And you need to get to this point. So if you're depressed and you have trauma, which is normal, everybody has it. So we talk about trauma like it's bad. Like, dude, is it my fault that my parents didn't like each other and didn't have a manual on how to be married and abused each other and myself? No. So we talk about trauma like, oh, you have trauma. No
Everyone
shit.
has trauma, man.
No shit. Like, come on. Like, okay? Everybody has trauma. Everybody has experiences, from teachers, from friends, from girlfriend, boyfriend, mom, dad, uncle, auntie, from abuse, physical, mental, sexual, every kind. This is nothing new under the sun. This exists. This is it. But Habibi, if you're going through this thing, you understand it. There is help. There is treatments. There is workshops. There is retreats. Open up your heart. Open up your mind. Open up your perception and reach out and go deep in the jungle somewhere where nobody knows you and come. And we're going to teach you again the ABCs. And if you get dirty again and lost in the matrix and lost in the money and lost in her and lost in him, come again and again and again. It's okay. It's okay. But there's help. There's workshops. There's people that understand this. And there's communities now of really macho masculine men that are really tough, you know, that are opening and coming and leading these things. I was one of them. And, you know, my whole childhood was fighting. My whole childhood was trauma. I was raised in the ghettos of Detroit, basically. My whole childhood. I got kicked out of every single school I ever went to. I was the most macho of the macho. You look at me wrong, we're fighting. That's how it's going down. That was my energy.
But I have to interrupt just for a second. You know what they say? Good students, they make a watch. A bad students, they wear the watch that good students just made for them.
Yeah.
So, which is really funny. But anyways, when you said retreats and all this stuff, can you please tell people where they can find you? Is there any website, any channel where they can find your astral?
So it's called Illumina. IlluminaCostaRica.com.
Okay, we'll add this down into description, so just like for people. And what is the certain type of people that let's call them out actually? What is your, let's say, niche? What kind of people you like to work the most with?
Somebody who has the calling, and you only come if you're called. If you're coming recreationally, you know, just kind of to try, and you know, that's okay. You know, you can come and try, and I think it's good for people to experience this diversity in perception. But I like to work with people who have kind of know what it is that they are dealing with, and want to really cut it, really want to go to a next level in their life. People who are on a precipice, you know, someone who's, you know, maybe a CEO or somebody who's, you know, building something, you know, and really needs a spiritual
to zoom out,
calibration and zooming out, so they can get to the next level. I like to create champions, you know, I like to work with kings and queens. And also, just in general, if somebody has a some family issue, spirit, you know, trauma issue, and they need to clean it and they don't know how to do it. It could be as simple as mom and dad got divorced. It could be as simple as they got divorced. It could be as simple as they lost a business. So really anybody, but someone who specifically understands, like, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. I'm ready to be uncomfortable about it, and I want to fix it.
I believe there is so many things that been untold, but we gotta keep something either for Costa Rica or next time you get here to Dubai, we can continue. There is so many things that I haven't asked, and since we are running out of the time, I would like to thank you for being here today, and I believe that it was very useful and very eye-opening for people who are looking into retreats, into a spiritual way of life, and all that you said. Saying all that, thank you again.
Thank you for having me, brother. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
And an honor. My man.
Thank you,
my brother.